Hey, how's it going, chat? Welcome to another Kerbal stream on this beautiful Monday evening here. Yeah, on this beautiful Monday evening. I was trying to do a fancier intro, and it completely backfired, as per usual. But yeah, we are once again back into KSP with the career mode, as I've made a breakthrough with MLV with the invisible fairings, and I figured out all the kinks of the upper stage. So without further ado, I think we should go ahead and get straight into the game. In 3, 2, 1. Alright, let's do this. SPH. I'm pretty sure I've got this in another save. But here, this is the actual career mode save. And I've also made a couple of changes to my mic, namely adjusting my EQ and compressor to better fit to be more tailored to my voice. But yeah, the Mad Lad is back again. What's it doing now? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I was working at the space shuttle. I went ahead and I decided to use Snackless's trick of having an invisible fairing. Unless this isn't the right one. Because I thought it was. Unless... it's actually this one. No, that's the core stage. Still want to go with the three skipper design for the boosters. Nope, that was for Sparrow. Let's see here. Maybe it was you. Interesting. I do remember the other thing that caused what was going on was that those were clipping. So actually, we could go ahead and I'm gonna move these in. Now, I'm gonna save this to career mode proper. Oops, hang on. Oops. Was recording the game audio. Rework. Main. File. What I'm gonna do now is save, and because of I'll set that to 5. And to help out the aft skirt, I'm gonna set that to orange. So I'll save that. And now what I'm going to do, chat, is this. I want to open up Notepad++. Oh yeah, that's what I was working on. Actually, what I'm going to do is go to Windows Explorer. Oh wait, it's right there. Doi. I was working some stuff earlier. So I figured, you know what? Steam apps, common. I want KSP. See, saves. Career mode 1. Ships. SPH. Can I help with the design a bit? Also, hi Nova. Hey T-Man, what's up? But actually, this is a trick from Snackless. Because watch what's gonna happen. See this first X section here? We don't need it. When it's orange, the cool part is I can also do the same thing here. We're gonna save it, and now we're gonna go back to Kerbal. We're going to open. And now I want career mode. Let me find the main one. Take expansion and turn it off. We notice, wait, that's invisible. That's the point. It's so that this doesn't clip. From there, I can just set this back to 2. Actually, with this, what I'm going to do is set this to white. Actually, no. Keep it as orange. There's something I want to do. Let's go back to Notepad++ real quick. Yes. Orange. I want to go back to the N arcs. Set this to 1. Close. And now we get to reopen again. And by doing it like this, I now have a one-sided fairing. Now we're cooking with gas. And that's not even the cool part, too. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this, right? We're gonna take this out onto the launch pad, right? What I'm going to do now is I'll switch those two couplers on the stage because screw it. And because I moved these things in, here's the really cool part. Oh, right. I gotta strut these to the heaviest part. Save. Launch. And we could go ahead and, yeah, we could test. Just wait for the game to load. And because I deleted that bottom part, T-Man, watch what's gonna happen. Fairing piece? What you think? And because I moved those RCS ports in, much better. Wouldn't you agree? So then why just the aft skirt toward one side fairing, you might be wondering. Honestly, to help it look nicer. Which I might do with the main stage itself. Oh, not just that, but I know how to get more performance out of this baby. A lot better than some of the other times? You're telling me. Seriously, this trick is saving me a lot of time and effort. As a result, the upper stage MLV is now basically fixed. Only thing left to do now is to test it. Though speaking of rockets, how's your BE4 wrangling coming along? Alright, and now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get this thing all properly integrated. But in the meantime, I'm going to work on the guidance. Can't believe it. We basically have a Falcon 9. Oh. You know what? Let's play with fire a tiny bit. I want to go play with fire a tiny bit. Cal controller. Let's see. Open editor. Poodle overclock. I'll go ahead and grab some numbers real quick. Wait so that everyone can see it. There we go. 778. Calculator. What is 0.60 times? I could do that. You're thinking, wait, are you seriously going to make a BE3U for a poodle? Yes. Yes. Okay, Blue Origin Engine is doing very good, and I'm taking some implications from real life into KSP, like smart reuse on my small launcher. See? I love how Blue's engineering does it. How Blue's engineering works. It just works. Like, it's a rocket engine. It doesn't have to be this complicated. I mean, it probably should be a little complicated, but still. Oh, hang on. I need those numbers again. Let's see. I want to divide that by 250 because we're using vacuum ISP. It basically needs to take 1.8 times the thrust. So what I'm going to do, also taking implications from Starship as well like a reasonable second stage with parachutes. Really, parachutes? Could you just, propulsively land? Oh, by the way, for HLV, I decided that our poodle here is that we're going to be using poodles and make BE3Us. Let's see. Right, I want to go to Actions, Poodle Overclock, open the track editor. I want Thrust Limiter. I want to keep that pinned. Works for me. We basically have a BE3U. Here's the problem with trying to propulsively land. I'm using a Terran spark engines, very low TWR, so I like Okay, and this is for an SLV? Like Sparrow. But yeah, I shall call this the Babby S4B. Play it. Save. Now we're cooking with gas. All right. Now here, I'm just gonna be incredibly lazy with how I'm doing things. Because at this point, we really need to get this thing, well, off the ground. And it should have been off the ground like yesterday. Grandparent strut. Batteries. Because we all love a power. I got the power. Oh, I got the power all right. Three batteries. And now, I want 2 reaction wheels. Or forget, auto strut. Okay, you're auto strut to the grandparent part. Everything's auto strut to the grandparent part, Squidward, except that one. because you are the grandparent part. And now I'm going to go ahead and save it. Okay, let's see how much TWR we're going to produce now. If you guys think I may be doing too much, you're probably right. Watch how much TWR are going to produce. Keep your eyes on that number down there. Ready? In fact, I'll make it a little bigger. Yeah, we basically have a BE3U. Okay. Well, I'd say that was a successful static fire. Honestly, if it's too thirsty of an engine, we'll just upgrade the tank size. But yeah, I think she's ready for the core stage. Told you guys I could get this thing figured out. Did I not? While I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead, open, save and continue. What I'm going to do is now merge. I'll go ahead and snooze ads for now, as we are cooking with gas. Oops, wrong one. T-Man, that's my idea, actually. I'm saying screw it, send it. Wrong file, again. That's more like it. If that's a little too big, don't worry, I'll figure it out. For now, let me have this one. I'll fix the fairing size later. But for now, let's go ahead and get that payload integrated. Oh. Nine tons? Plus. Yeah, good enough. Let's see, Ultra Strut is now in Grandparent Part. Grandparent Strut this baby. Grandparent Strut everything. Okay, well, I'll go back to engines real quick. Get myself some Separatrons. And these babies are going to be firing when the core stage gets to separate. MLV rework FT1. I say we're go, chat. Alto strut. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and run ads. Gotta keep the pre-rolls disabled, chat. So, for VOD viewers and for subs, don't worry, you guys. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. But for live viewers who aren't subbed, I'll see you guys in a bit. So, go ahead, take a quick stretch break, and don't worry, I will be because I will be right back. All right, now that ads are going, I'd say it's time to send this thing. Actuation toggles. Yep, those are all good. My homemade BE3U upper stage should be more than enough to get into orbit. If needed, I can always add more fuel to this upper stage. And I definitely want to change the diameter just a smidge. But for now, we gotta see if this whole thing's gonna work. Send it. Plus, if MLV is going to work this well, HLV is going to be even better. Engine chill has started. We're going T-minus 90. How are you guys doing, by the way? I sound great with this thing now. Who could have imagined that of all things, ChatGPT would be the thing that helps you EQ my mic the best? It's just, it's stupid how good it actually is at times. And the best part, I can even do some incredible stuff like auto ducking. Though granted, for stuff like this, I'd rather just lower the music. However, my audience mix does actually, okay, that's with it disabled. This is with it's enabled. Yep, I want to go no higher than -30. A very quick attack, but a very slow release. And, oh, we're back. Well, we are back, chat. Yeah. Send it. Program. Two-thirds throttle. Vehicle supersonic. We're through the throttle bucket. That I'm flying a very steep ascent. That's a very steep ascent. The thing likes to roll a tiny bit. So what I'm gonna do now is lower my throttle just a tiny bit. Good separation. Now this is Now this is fun to listen to. The way for colleagues at SpaceX is gonna let you tour Slick 6 of Vandy. Nice. We have had an anomaly? Yeah, exactly, T-Man. Don't buff out. I mean, it reached orbit, but... overheating. Hey, Cobra Bubbles. As you can see, FLV is finally working. Wait, did it destroy the docking port? Oh no, there it is. Good fairing separ. Good fairing sep. Okay, so we're gonna have to work on this. Just a tiny bit more. I'm thinking we move it up. But the best part, MLV works. In fact, I am willing to bet that this thing can actually hurl 18 tons into orbit now. I'll do this, make the docking port a little more visible. And I also want to, admittedly, lengthen the fairing. Edit the fairing. Yeah, boy. Let's try again. I love how I decided, you know what, just be funny. Let's throw a BE3U onto this thing. And it worked. It freaking worked. And what do I get as a result? Basically Saturn 1B. Now, pitch over. Yeah, let's get this pitch over going. Oh, throttle bucket, throttle bucket. Easy now. Easy. Don't worry, baby. Okay. This. We are now through Max Q. Fairing separation, confirm. Watch, this is gonna go, that's gonna go away very quick. Oh, I know what's going on now. See? It's the gimbal of the engines. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. It's almost there. Almost there. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. You go for a second stage? Really? So just one team, man? Yeah, I'm gonna lower this down to 30 so I don't accidentally overheat my RCS. So right now, we've got a really good thing going. One thing I definitely want to do is kind of give the upper stage a bit of a redesign. Especially now that overclocking engines is on the table, as well as this fairing technique. And while I'm at it, I'm kind of not too crazy about how I have this now. Honestly, it might not be a bad idea to have 4 skippers at the bottom. And basically have this thing become, say, a Falcon 9. But for 48 G's a pop, this ain't a bad launcher. But this definitely did take a lot of work to get right. And I definitely want to add more fuel. Now that I have entered the realm of overclocking. Because after all, a BE3U is a BE3U. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. Again. You know what? Better idea. Just send it. Yeah, I think you can grab the port and starboard structure like that for a single cylindrical design is gonna be way better. Mach 1. And we were past the throttle bucket. Oh, what's that thing? That's spin miss. Good separation. Way better. Fairing separation. Confirm. We go ahead and throttle down. Throttle back up. Yeah, we just need more fuel at this point. And then we can start building our lunar landers. So here's what I'm going to do. Let me go back and take another look at the strategies we have. Because I'm fairly certain I completed that strategic contracts with this launch. Of at least 20 tons? Got it. We could do that now. We just need a larger stage. So what I'm going to be doing here, chat, is that I'm going to be completely rebaselining my upper stage. MLV. Upper stage. Version 3. Oops. Master craft file. I want absolute snap. Here's the control jig. And now use build electronics kickstage. Nice. You know, T-Man, I was actually thinking about this. I was generally thinking about this earlier today. For lander designs, why don't I just make something based off Sparrow's upper stage? It's already using the Terrier engine. And just make a lander based off that. Put it through an MLV, and we're good to go. That would be a very stripped down version of Sparrow's upper stage. We basically build intuitive machines and stuff. But I really also want to build Blue Ghost. That works. Keep the design as simple as possible? Yeah. So what I'd be doing with Sparrow's upper stage at that point for a new lunar lander is to simply strip it of the fairings. Because you don't need them. It's going to be in space. Yep, I want that as my docking port. I now want you as my fairing. Interstage nodes. I'd like to have on, please. And for fuel, it's already been decided. Nope, you need to be bigger. I want to add the Rockabax brand adapter now. Because guess what? That's where the coupler's gonna go. As for you, that's gonna have a poodle engine. Now, structure. I want you. And now, I once again want you. You need to be offset. You guys are gonna be thinking, Nova, so what's the plan here with that with you turning this to a BE3U? I'm saying screw it, dudes. We're turning this to basically a Falcon 9 second stage. So this is 2.5 meters, right? Well, I could do this. I want this to be 3 meters. We're going to give it a 4-meter wide fairing. One large enough where we could fit one of these. Make sense? And the core stage, once again, we're going to redesign it. Essentially, we're making a Falcon 9 with an S that basically has something equivalent to the S4B. Which, come to think of it, for a super heavy lift vehicle, there's a concept I kind of want to use. For an HLV. Because I remember seeing this back when I was like in God, high school, if anything. But first, before we get on to that concept, 1, 2. What I'd like to do now is simply get this up to a point where I want it. Oh no. Dos. And because we're using the new fairing trick, guess what, guys? We don't have to worry. And after this, that's gonna get covered the aft skirt, so... But if it's gonna bother me enough, I can always do this. Oh, right. I can always just move it up a tick. Hey, where's my Rocket Max adapter? Oh, there you are. Oh, yeah. Stealth. And let's go ahead and let's make sure about something. I'm gonna save this, right? Money. All right, let's go ahead and reload it. T-Man, what did you do? Let's see. Let me go ahead and grab something real quick. But for that, I need to transition to one of my scenes. So I can also read chat, and, well, you guys can see the whole thing at the same time. I want to go to my browser. Yeah, I want to make this. I want to go ahead and make this. I see how I need the dimensions of the Falcon 9 fairing. Okay, where will I find the dimensions for that thing? Maybe I go to Falcon 9. No, not Flacken. Strimmer Brain. Let's see, full thrust. Even though we're on the Block 5s now. That's our first stage. That's the second stage. Merlin 1D. Which I freaking love the Merlin. Now I need the fairing. Which we should have that. Monocoque? Monocoque. It's monocoque. Let's see. 3.7 meters. Oh, here it is. 13 meters by 5.2 meters. So... we basically need a 3-meter fairing. a 7.8 by 3 meter fairing. You know, if you squint hard enough, it could be a 4 meter fairing if you want. Besides, this part's going to get, the basic can get deleted anyway, so. The best part is, I know exactly where to get something like this. Rather, how to get something like this. So, fairing expansion, I need that off. So that's a 3 meter fairing, right? Problem is, we have a 3 meter wide vehicle. Wowee! Hey, what's up, FaZe? The good news, I figured out what went wrong with MLV. And the best part, I know exactly how to fix MLV. So this is the... It turns out it was fairing clipping. It was a bunch of fairing clipping, and the RCS was actually too close to the fairings. But as for this and how fairings got stuck, I figured it out. It was the base. So that's the mirror fairing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me go ahead and edit my fairing. And the best part is, I re-baselined the second stage. Again. So, I decided to take inspiration from Falcon 9. And here's the cool part about this. I'm gonna set this thing to orange, right? That's the upper stage mastercraft file. And what I'm going to do is save this. I'm gonna open up Notepad++ real quick. Go to SPH. I want MLV stage 3. Go to .craft. See where the fairing's orange. Here's what you want, the X sections. See this first X section? That's the base. Oops, sorry. Wasn't showing it off. There we go. You see this first section? X section, that's the base. Oh, the trick here that I'm doing here is load the craft file in Notepad++, Control F, see where you made the fairing orange, and then you go to that fairing. These X sections are, well, the fairing pieces themselves. So this X section, the one that actually connects to the base, get rid of it. We're gonna go ahead and save. Close it. And watch what happens when I reload the craft. Oops, I accidentally clicked save again. And I did the exact opposite of what I want. That's because I fat fingered. Which means I get to reteach you guys again. We'll go here. Orange. Delete. S. And now you don't want to save it, you want to load. Booyah! Now at this point, it's just about adjusting the fairing. Clamshell, return you back to white. But you're wondering, Nova, that's gonna look jank. Will it though? It'll work. Trust me. And that's not the only cool thing I can do with fairings like this. Watch. Let's set NARCs to 5. Which this is another way of doing it. Essentially, there's more than one way of doing this trick. Oh, I want to make sure that these fairings aren't staged. Now change it back to orange. Have NARCs be 5. Fairings have to be staged. I'm gonna go ahead and save. And we're gonna go back up and we're going to load. Load that back once again in Notepad++. Command F. NARCs equals 5. And we're gonna switch this over to 1. And then we scroll up until we get to the X section. Let me just double check. Okay, so NARCs equal 5. Cool. That's correct. Load this back up. Now we can go ahead, open. Boom, single-sided fairing. What do you say to that? Looks clean, doesn't it? If you want, FaZe, I'll be more than happy to DM you the trick. Oh man, this looks so good already. You're busy building a slime farm right now. Okay, fair enough. In fact, I'm thinking I might make a video on that trick and share it with the world. Plus, it'll be good content for the YouTube channel, so... Oh, hang on. I have that going on in OBS, so, that was not visible. I just shut off the source and just refresh the, source at OBS. That's when, I switched away from chat. I do it with all my stuff. Just make sure that, just that resources aren't being utilized. It's, well, being utilized incorrectly. But as I am all for consistency. I'll worry about it later. Okay, this would go either really good or really bad. T-Man? What are you going to do? So far, this looks really good. Like, holy crap. This actually looks like a Falcon 9 upper stage. And because you're a one-sided fairing, or you know, do I really need this fairing? Let's just move this out of the way real quick. I like the look of that. That looks like a Falcon 9 upper stage. Let's see, fairing expansion is once again off. Time to find out this makes orbit. As well, you know, T-Man, good luck. We're all counting on you. Oh my god. Guys, do you see how clean this looks? Like, holy crap, Lois. That's ridiculous how good this looks. Hey, T-Man, thank you so much for telling me to re-baseline, dude. And because these are both one-sided fairings, I'm sure for both of these, keep things simple because you're over-engineering a lot of things. You were right. 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 Which, granted, this is still a bit over-engineering, but plus with the fairing trick, like, I can focus on the actual design itself. Now, so here, actually, gonna keep that because it makes it look a little more, I don't know, a little cleaner. But for this one here, I was switching it to orange. I would like to go ahead and delete the N arc. So go ahead and save. I'll reload it. Switch, look for orange. Delete. Save. And well, good thing I still have this program open. And now, reload. T-Man? Let me level with you for a second, dude. About what stage you're in now. And I'm sure FaZe, here, you'll find this hilarious as well. Because... Hang on. Hang on. This is gonna get a little, the language gonna get a little coarse, but my guy, my dog, my dude, my homie, you have now entered the fuck around and find out phase of rocket design. You fucked around, and now it is time to find out. As for me, I am still very much in the fuck around phase. Hopefully it doesn't run. We'll be doing a payload deployment test soon. But first, let me get these babies auto-strutted. Screw it, STA. What is just the creation of new novels spontaneous? You know what? Hang on. Fuck, I need the mod tools open. I need the mod tools open. Damn it. Because I actually want to pin that message. Oh wait, I can just do this. Yeah, show mod icons. There we go. Pinned it. I was doing a real cool Delta 2 trick where I'm only letting 4 of the 9. Nice. You know, I'm thinking of doing that for Sparrow when that's eventually ready to get an upgrade. Anywho. STA? Oop. Did not mean to do that. Watch, chat. It's gonna work first try. First try. I guarantee it. Like, oh, I still can't believe how good this looks. Like, guys, if we extend this fairing just a tiny bit more, we get a real good Falcon 9, a real good looking Falcon 9 upper stage. In fact, throw a skipper onto this, we basically have Falcon 9's upper stage. No stubby nozzles though. Stubby nozzle bad. Okay. That sucks. Well, I'll have to keep the mod icons on in chat. You're really glad you don't have stubby nozzle in KSP? Hey, T-Man. Is that a stubby nozzle? Is that a stubby nozzle? What is a stubby nozzle? But I digest. I mean, technically the Terrier is a stubby, but it's not as bad as Falcon 9. Okay. Man, I really don't like Cities 2 as a game. Because how badly they botched it. They botched it compared to Cities 1. But I will say, I freaking love the soundtrack. I'm so happy I saved it for stream music. Because listening to this while working on Kerbal just feels so right. Rather, listening to this while working on Kerbal just feels right in my opinion. Oh, that's on the root part. I want grandparent part. All right. Let's see if this is going to explode. Which it shouldn't. I'll sneak in this little test before I go ahead and run the next round of ads. Ready? 3, 2, 1. So, what do you guys think? Do I got the thumbs up? Okay, let's show off something really freaking cool. Like, I need to show this off. Though I will say, Rocket. And with that phase, I just want to do this. I had to take a bow. Mid halfway. Batteries are in F. Raggy. Oh yeah, by the way, update the chat text. Next on this overlay. I figured, you know what? Screw it, let's use nationalization. Wait, I just saw that. All praise stubby nozzles. So the YF-115. John Madden. John Madden. Okay, if I stage the fairing, and this is for this stage here, for this part here, just like on the upper fairing, I remove the base. Watch what happens. AU, 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 AU. Okay, cool, that's still pinned. Or is it just the creation of new dolls spontaneously? That has to be one of my favorite lines you've ever said, FaZe. But yeah, watch what happens. See this fairing here and how it's staged? This has 0 staging force. Watch. We have interstage fairings. What do you guys think? The Long March 7 trick? Long March 7 phase? My guy. I'm thinking more Saturn 5 S2 trick. And if you get some if you make the if you have version attachment on, you can add the Separatrons to the interstage skirt. Meaning we can recreate the Apollo 6 footage. So, what a beast, dude. Booster first stage SEP 7. That's your guys. That's the Delta 2, right? Yeah, the Delta 2 equivalent. Ooh, that's a nice render, Wikipedia. Way more capable than Delta 2, but... Okay, okay. So it's in this class. Well, I said that the Delta 2 because it's the same class of vehicle, right? An S medium lift vehicle? But it turns out I was way wrong. Okay, YF-100. 2 YF-100s, nice. Hang on, Phase. Before I play that, that's, the VOD on YouTube's not gonna get flagged, right? Because I want to be a little more conscientious about stuff like this. Now that the VOD channel's out. Now that the VOD channel is active. I don't think so? Well, may as well find out.
Oh, this angle is...
But just be safe, I'm gonna mute the audio. Alright, let's see. Oh! Holy crap! That reminded me of the Ariane 6 booster set. And Soyuz separation. That's hot. That's hot. And okay, yeah. I do give the Chinese space program some crap, but I am Team Space. Do I have a much respect for the Chinese space program? Absolutely. Wait, medium to heavy. Oh, I was way wrong on this thing's roll. This is basically a Falcon 9 with liquid boosters. But for my rockets, I like to look towards, well, the United States for designs. Geo-launch variant is very cool too. Nice. But I am gonna go ahead and I'll get this fairing modified just a tiny bit. Still, I'm so happy with how this thing turned out. Dudes. I think I know how I want this thing to finally look. First, let me open the Mastercraft file. Edit the fairing. Wait. Hang on. Before I get to that, why am I not allowed to build that? Okay. Now. Nah, too bulbous. I like the bottom portion, but the nose leaves a lot to be desired. Maybe that? You guys might be wondering, what am I trying to go for here? That shape. I'm trying to get that shape. Okay, what's that 6679? Wait, that's meters. Wait, that's centimeters. I totally botched that equation. I'm doing my calculator. Oh, yeah. But by 1,000 to get the meters, it's a 4-meter long fairing. From the fairing base to the, Hey, cool waffle monkey, how are you? I'm trying to get this fairing figured out. Pretty good. What are you doing here? We're basically making a medium lift vehicle in Kerbal Space Program. I decided to completely baseline the fairing by making it more akin to, say, a Falcon 9 fairing. Now I just need to know what angle that is. So I know that's a section. That's another section. And then the fairing closes. It's flat. What are we trying to push into space with this? An 18-ton payload for a contract I have. Not to mention, hopefully, soon, our lunar-rated capsule. if I get around to working on that. After all, this I also want to see if I can make it while my Saturn 1B. Is it stock? Yes. This is stock KSP. I'm working in. And basically my goal is to... Well, I already gave you the goal. Fortunately, I got a little too ambitious. But I am doing some neat little tricks. What's your favorite breakfast food? Pancakes. Easy, pancakes. But I do love biscuits and gravy too. Makes sense? Easy. Biscuits and gravy are just delicious. Though, there's this place in Atlanta that I absolutely love to go to whenever I have the chance. It's called Homegrown. And what that restaurant does is that...
Boosters in ignition.
Hey, Cool Waffle Monkey, thanks for the follow. Anywho, what this restaurant does is that they take pieces of fried chicken, put them on top of a biscuit, and then they slather sausage gravy on top of them, and it's so good. It's so freaking good. Yeah, I'm just gonna terminate the cross section here. Now. Saved it. Oh yeah, T-Man's also working on his stuff too. You don't, you don't mind me asking what country you're from? Oh, not at all. United States. And that should do it. That's a pretty darn good looking Falcon 9 fairing replica. Granted, the fairing could use a little more work, but looking great. Thank you, Cool Waffle. But I don't think I quite have the shape down. That's because I absolutely do not have the shape down. I have to know what angle that is. I mean, I could just fly it and be done with it. But yeah, the goal of this is to also get a medium lift vehicle. And a darn good one at that. I need fairing expansion to go off for a split second. I'm okay with the aft skirt fairing expansion being on still. As I would like to go ahead and do this. You may be wondering, actually, Cool Waffle, you might be wondering, how'd you get your fairies look so good? That's part of the trick. I, for all intents and purposes, delete the bases of the fairings. And as for the aft skirt and main tank structure, that's just a that's a one-sided fairing. It involves some craft file editing, but if you know what you're doing, you can get some very good looking results like this. And because I thought it'd be funny, we're basically putting a BE3U on this thing. Edit the fairing. Try 4D Minesweeper. Is that very odd? Wait, that's it. I have never heard of 4D Minesweeper. That looked much better. Yeah, still a little too bulbous for me. So, back to the drawing board again. Edit the fairing. Way better. That's way more like a Falcon 9 fairing now. Let's take a look at that. Way better. Holy cow, that was difficult. So we could go ahead and save. So I just won't have to worry about this again. As a matter of fact, I alluded to this earlier on stream. Cool. I want to see what's going to happen when I place a skipper onto this. That actually doesn't look too bad. That really doesn't look too bad. In fact, that's as close as we're going to get to a Merlin vacuum on this thing. But because I want my BE3U, I'll do that. And then... sorry for not being too responsive to chat, you guys. It's just, I am locking in for this project. I feel like I need to. Get you back to white. And I want to do this. Turn snap off. And just a microscope, just a minuscule amount. And we are good to go for this. Cool, clamshell's on. When we get into the upper atmosphere, we should be more than capable enough. Since, fortunately for me, this is also a super capable engine. Well, let's have the best CWR right now. But that, my friends, is going to very soonly change. Oh, actually, I do want this engine to come out just a smidge. See that cow controller? Watch what I'm gonna do. Let's see, Poodle overclock. Set the play position to 0. What I'm going to do is go to here, select U, thrust limiter. You want to pin this. And from there, that's good enough. Play. That engine is now overclocked. And now save. All we need to do now is build the MLV core stage. I'll keep the decoupler like this. As for the RCS ports and stage control itself, what did they go on Falcon 9? But I guess it would be right there. You know, I forget how much I love having this overlay on stream. Yeah, to take a guess, it'd be right around here, or within that unit itself. Yep, that's the LOX tank. Wait, I thought the LOX tank was down here, but okay. If that's just a common bulkhead design with a down cover. I'm pretty sure that's Falcon 9's internal down cover. Falcon and Furious tanks. Huh. Interesting. Oh, that's such a nice shot. Let's see, what else? What else? I'll keep a tab open up there for later. Let's see. I mean, I definitely want to get move on with the core stage. Well, I did title the stream a breakthrough, and as a result, I did give you guys the breakthrough I needed. Seriously, that's gonna save you so much on headaches. This just looks so clean. I'm gonna move this from the entire structure real quick. I just want to make this a little more obvious that we have a massive structure right here. I've decided that I want to do this. Actuation toggles? No need for that because it's an upper stage. Instead of 100 degrees, I want a more like 30. How much range of gimbal do you have? 5 degrees. 1.5 degrees. Yeah, I'll bump you up to 40. Just so I have a little more to work with. Really, at that point, the upper stage only has to worry about efficiency. Actuation toggles. Command and control. No, I want communications. I'll set them by 10 degrees. I'm gonna do the same thing here. And that should do it. All right, let's see how this looks. That's way too far in. Let's see. What? Okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay. Yes, I decided to sound like Stitch there. Okay, okay. Okay. And move you back in. Actually, I can move this down closer to the engine bell. And there we go. And with that, we are one step closer. All I have to do to the stage is now add guidance. As well as the requisite RCS monopropellant. Fuel tanks. Which the center of thrust should be. Yeah, now I see how these things are getting toasty. Now I see why these are getting toasty. Look at where these ports are. I'm really liking how this thing's coming out. We got a nice spacious fairing inside too. All that's left now, slap the guidance unit on, and we are good to go. So I'll go ahead and get that done nice and quick. I want to use this navigation system. Get you centered. And now we've got... I need 2 reaction wheels. So I can... I'll have these set at 10%. At 5% each. %. Wheel authority, that's gonna have none. Alto struts to the root part. And with that, I say this thing's basically good for a test flight. I'm so happy I decided to start the whole thing over from scratch. As for batteries, let's try something a little cool. Those are, in fact, straight as an arrow. Now, so those lights not being centered? Yeah, they're centered now. Now go ahead and save. Ladies and gentlemen, we are officially back on track for the MLV program. And it feels so good. And honestly, with that, I know my schedule says until 11. And I did start 30 minutes late. Well, 30 to 15 minutes late. But honestly, I think it's time to call it. Especially considering I have work in the morning. So that, as they say, is the end. Oops. Man, did we get a lot done today. We got MLV second stage. Finally figured out and sorted. We've got the brand new payload fairing to test out. In fact, we've tested it out. Works pretty darn good, actually. And overall, we've just made a ton of progress. I just couldn't be happier. I really couldn't. I'd say for next stream, which, you know what? Let's go live tomorrow again. I would love to work on the core stage. And get this thing completely redone. But that's gonna do it for me tonight. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna head off to EJ just to kill it off. Just to kill off tonight. So, with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic night. And take care. Later.